The road to Sin City has just been named the most dangerous highway in the entire nation.
It's a fatal crash involving a car hauler, so like a semi-truck with several cars on the back.
Single car deadly crash on a highway in the state that is famous for being dangerous.
This video shows just how hard the wind was blowing. You mix it in with dust, and as you can see, how difficult it can be to drive in these conditions.
These 10 highways have burnt brakes, flipped rigs, and ended careers. This is the road no trucker wants to see on their GPS. $1 Million Highway, US 550, Colorado. No guardrails, 1,000-foot drop, and a legal load doing 45 miles an hour on a hairpin turn. Welcome to the $1 Million Highway, a 25-mile stretch of US 550 between Silverton and Ouray, Colorado. The name alone sounds like a jackpot. The reality is closer to a coin flip. Some say it got its name from the gold-flecked gravel used to pave it. Others say it's because that's what it'd cost you if you went off the edge. Either way, this road runs along sheer cliffs with no shoulder, no barrier, and grades pushing past 8%. Add snow for half the year, and you've got a highway where one wrong mirror check ends in a 500-foot freefall. Truckers who drive it don't talk about the view. They talk about the exhale when it's over. But if you think elevation is scary, wait until you meet a mountain pass with its own body count. I-70 through Colorado, Eisenhower Tunnel, and Vail Pass, 11,158 feet. That's the elevation of the Eisenhower Tunnel, the highest point on the entire U.S. interstate system. And it's just the start of the gauntlet. I-70 through the Rockies drops trucks through hairpin curves, sudden whiteouts, and grades so steep that runaway truck ramps aren't a suggestion. They're a lifeline. Vail Pass alone has claimed dozens of rigs to brake failure, especially on the downhill side, where drivers ride the brakes for 10 miles straight until they overheat and give out completely.
There were several crashes reported. Now, we were coming from Denver heading to Silverthorne, and it took us roughly about an hour and a half to get there.
Add altitude sickness, oxygen-thin air messing with diesel engines, and sudden summer hailstorms that turn asphalt into a skating rink. And you've got a stretch of interstate that eats overconfident drivers alive. But if mountains don't scare you, maybe curves will, because there's one road in America built entirely out of them. Tail of the Dragon, US 129, Tennessee/North Carolina 318 curves, 11 miles, 0 straightaways. That's the Tail of the Dragon, a road so notoriously twisted it's become a bucket list ride for motorcyclists, and a horror story for anyone hauling freight. There isn't a single side road, driveway, or gas station on this stretch, just curve after curve after curve. Some banking so sharp that an 18-wheeler physically cannot make the turn without crossing the center line. Commercial trucks are technically restricted here, but locals still remember tractor trailers getting wedged sideways across both lanes, unable to move forward or back. Motorcycle deaths here get the headlines, but ask any local tow company and they'll tell you, it's the trucks that never should have turned onto it that leave the biggest mess. Speaking of roads that don't forgive mistakes, Colorado's got another one. And this one comes with a 10% grade warning sign that's basically a prayer. Wolf Creek Pass, US 160. Colorado Wolf Creek Pass in southern Colorado is infamous enough that there's literally a country song about a truck losing its brakes going down it, and it actually happened.
Jesus Christ!
This pass sits at nearly 11,000 feet, gets over 400 inches of snow a year, and drops trucks down a grade so steep that brake fires are a documented recurring hazard. Runaway ramps line the descent, not as scenery, but because they get used regularly. Truckers are told to downshift before the summit, not during the descent, because once you're picking up speed on Wolf Creek, there's no slowing back down safely. It's a road that punishes hesitation and rewards preparation, kind of like the next one, where the danger isn't the mountain, it's the heat. The Grapevine, I-5, California 100 degrees on the asphalt, a 6% grade for miles, and a wall of Central Valley traffic waiting at the bottom. The Grapevine, the stretch of I-5 connecting Los Angeles to the Central Valley, is one of the most heavily trafficked trucking corridors in the country, and also one of the most punishing. In summer, brakes overheat in the blistering heat. In winter, this same stretch can get sudden snow closures that strand hundreds of trucks overnight. Yes, in California, CHP has shut down the Grapevine entirely during snowstorms more than once, leaving truckers sleeping in their cabs on the shoulder of an interstate built for desert heat, not blizzards. It's a road that can't decide what season it's in, and neither can the trucks trying to survive it. But if unpredictable weather is dangerous, isolation might be worse. And nothing is more isolated than the road we're heading to next. But before that, subscribe if you made it this far. Trust me, it's free. Beartooth Highway, US 212, Montana/Wyoming, almost 11,000 feet up. A season that lasts less than 5 months, and switchbacks so sharp that even the road's own engineers called it one of the most challenging in America. The Beartooth Highway connects Montana and Wyoming through some of the most dramatic alpine terrain in the country, but that beauty comes at a cost. It's only open from late May to mid-October because the rest of the year it's buried under snow that can reach 20 feet deep. Guardrails are minimal, switchbacks require near-complete stops for full-length trailers, and a sudden alpine storm, which can hit even in July, turns visibility to near zero in minutes. Truckers who use this route aren't taking the scenic option. They're often out of alternatives. Speaking of routes with no good alternative, Maryland's got a ridge that turns crosswinds into a trucker's worst enemy. Sidling Hill, I-68, Maryland, 60 miles an hour crosswinds. A blind curve cut straight through solid rock, and a ridge that funnels wind like a wall doesn't exist. Sidling Hill on I-68 in western Maryland looks almost artificial, a massive rock cut slicing straight through a mountain ridge, exposing over 340 million years of geological layers. It's stunning to look at. It's brutal to drive through. That deep, narrow cut acts like a wind tunnel, and empty or lightly loaded trailers have been blown clean onto their sides in high wind conditions, with wind advisories issued specifically for high-profile vehicles on this stretch. Combine that with fog that settles in the cut and a sharp curve right in the middle of it, and you've got a road that turns just a gust of wind into a total loss. If wind is bad, though, total isolation might be worse, and there's one highway in America where help might be hundreds of miles away. Dalton Highway, Alaska. 414 miles, 1 gas station, and temperatures that hit 60 below zero. The Dalton Highway in Alaska was built to service the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, and it remains one of the most remote, unforgiving roads truckers in America still drive. There are stretches over 200 miles long with zero services, no gas, no food, no cell signal. Ice fog forms so thick that visibility drops to a truck length. The road surface alternates between gravel, permafrost heaves, and black ice that can't always be seen until it's too late. Breakdown here doesn't mean a call to roadside assistance. It can mean hours, sometimes a full day, waiting in sub-zero temperatures for the next truck to pass. This is the road truckers trained specifically to drive. Because one mistake here isn't just costly, it can be fatal in ways no southern highway comes close to. I-90 Snoqualmie Pass, Washington. Over 400 inches of snow a year, documented avalanche zones, and a mountain pass that closes multiple times every single winter. Snoqualmie Pass on I-90 in Washington state might not sound as extreme as Alaska until you learn it sits directly in an active avalanche corridor, with gates that literally shut the interstate down when conditions turn dangerous. Sudden snow squalls can drop visibility to nothing in minutes, and the grade combined with heavy freight traffic creates pileups that have stranded trucks for over 24 hours at a time. It's proof that you don't need to go to the Arctic to find a road that fights back. The sheer number of vehicles makes the next highway one of the deadliest ones in America. I-95, the East Coast Corridor, over 3,000 miles, the busiest interstate in the country, and more large truck fatal crashes than almost any other highway in America. I-95 doesn't have hairpin turns or blizzard shutdowns. Its danger is volume. This single corridor carries roughly a third of the entire U.S. population within reach of its exits, and it consistently ranks among the highways with the highest number of fatal crashes involving large trucks according to federal crash data. Constant merging, aggressive four-lane traffic, and construction zones that never seem to end make this less about mountains and more about millisecond reaction times. Hour after hour, day after day, no snow required, no cliffs needed, just relentless traffic and a margin for error that shrinks every single mile. US 6, Utah, the Widowmaker, 9 fatalities on a 9-mile stretch in a single year. That's the reputation US 6 carries through Spanish Fork Canyon in Utah. A route so dangerous, locals just call it the Widowmaker. Connecting Provo to Price, this highway squeezes coal trucks, tourist traffic, and commercial freight into a narrow, winding canyon with almost no passing lanes for over 40 miles. Drivers get stuck behind slow-moving trucks, then attempt blind passes on curves with rock walls on one side and a drop on the other. Utah's Department of Transportation has spent millions widening sections, but the older, untouched stretches still see head-on collisions regularly, often from impatience rather than weather. It's proof that sometimes the deadliest hazard isn't ice or altitude, it's simply another driver crossing the line. Speaking of drivers pushed past their limits, one interstate out west turns wind into a full-time occupational hazard. I-80, Wyoming, the Snoqualmie Trail. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, whiteout conditions with almost no warning, and a nickname earned from decades of truckers getting stranded in the exact same spot. The stretch of I-80 between Laramie and Cheyenne has been called the Snoqualmie Trail since the 1970s, a grim joke about how often convoys of trucks get trapped there during storms. Wyoming's high plains offer zero windbreaks, so gusts hit tractor trailers broadside with enough force to tip empty or lightly loaded rigs completely over. The state now closes this section more than any other interstate corridor in America, sometimes for days at a stretch, stranding hundreds of trucks in a line that reporters have compared to a parking lot stretching for miles. It's not the mountains that get you here. It's the flat, open nothing that lets the wind build unchecked. But if wind is one enemy, a road built by Chinese immigrant laborers through granite cliffs a century and a half ago presents an entirely different threat. Teton Pass, I-80, California. Over 34 feet of snow in a single season. A name forever tied to one of the most infamous survival stories in American history. Teton Pass, connecting Sacramento to Reno through the Sierra Nevada, has a legacy of danger that predates cars entirely. But modern truckers face their own version of that legacy. Chain control laws here are mandatory during storms, and CHP will turn away any rig without proper equipment, sometimes leaving drivers stranded for hours waiting out a closure. The grade, combined with sudden lake-effect snow squalls off nearby Lake Tahoe, can bury the interstate in under 30 minutes, catching drivers who checked the forecast that morning completely off guard. It's a pass where history and modern logistics collide, reminding every driver that some roads have been claiming lives long before diesel engines existed. From granite peaks, let's head toward a grade so steep, engineers eventually gave up trying to keep it open for freight. Saluda Grade, I-26, North Carolina and South Carolina. Historically, the steepest mainline railroad grade in the country ran through here, and the highway that replaced part of that route inherited a similar reputation. I-26 through the Saluda Grade near Asheville drops trucks down a corridor so steep that runaway ramps line the descent at multiple points. Truckers hauling freight between the Carolinas face grades exceeding 5% for miles, with tight curves layered on top that limit visibility around blind corners. Fog rolls in frequently off the Blue Ridge Mountains, cutting sightlines just as drivers need them most for the sharpest turns. Local tow operators say brake failure calls here spike every summer, when tourist traffic clogs the right lane and forces trucks into constant grinding downshifts instead of a steady descent. It's a road where geography did the damage long before asphalt ever got involved. And nearby, another Appalachian pass has earned its own grim nickname among drivers who've white-knuckled through it. Fancy Gap, I-77, Virginia. 45 vehicles, one single pileup, all triggered by fog that dropped visibility to almost nothing in seconds. That's exactly what happened on Fancy Gap in 2023, a stretch of I-77 near the Virginia and North Carolina border notorious for sudden fog banks rolling off the mountainside. This corridor connects Charlotte to the Virginias, carrying heavy freight traffic through elevation changes that create their own microclimate. One side of the mountain can be clear while the other is swallowed in mist within a quarter mile. Add a steep grade and sharp curves to that equation, and you get a road where a fully loaded rig can go from clear skies to zero visibility before the driver even has time to react. Emergency responders here train specifically for mass casualty pileups because this exact scenario has repeated itself more than once. If fog swallowing a mountain sounds bad, wait until you meet a canyon where 3 major freeways collide into one dangerous bottleneck. Cajon Pass, I-15, California. Nearly 70,000 vehicles a day squeeze through one mountain corridor, a huge share of them commercial trucks hauling freight between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Cajon Pass sits at the meeting point of the San Bernardino and San Gabriel Mountains, and that geography creates dangerous crosswinds strong enough to push over high-sided trailers with almost no warning. Add steep grades in both directions and constant merging from 3 separate freeways, converging in the same stretch. And you've got a recipe for chain reaction pileups that have shut this corridor down for entire days at a time. Summer heat bakes brakes on the uphill climb, while winter occasionally brings snow that Southern California drivers and their trucks are simply unequipped to handle. It's a pass that punishes drivers no matter the season. From desert wind, let's move north to a pass where moose on the road might be the least of a trucker's problems. Teton Pass, Wyoming and Idaho. A 10% grade for over 4 miles, connecting Jackson, Wyoming to Victor, Idaho through some of the most photographed scenery in America and some of the most punishing terrain for anything with a trailer. Teton Pass restricts vehicles over a certain length entirely, but plenty of trucks still attempt it, often underestimating how brutal the descent really is. Runaway truck ramps sit at multiple points along the way, and locals report seeing drivers use them nearly every winter when brakes overheat on the way down. Sudden mountain weather here can drop temperatures 20 degrees in an hour, turning a manageable descent into a sheet of black ice within minutes. Wildlife adds another layer entirely. Moose and elk wandering onto the road with no warning, forcing sudden stops on a grade where sudden stops are already the most dangerous maneuver possible. But if wildlife and weather feel unpredictable, one historic pass out west combines both with an added gift: thin, oxygen-starved air. Lolo Pass, US 12, Idaho and Montana. Followed by Lewis and Clark over 2 centuries ago, this route through the Bitterroot Mountains between Lolo, Montana and Kuskia, Idaho remains one of the most remote highway corridors truckers still use today. Stretches run for over 50 miles without a gas station, cell service, or any real shoulder to pull onto, and the road itself twists through nearly 100 curves with grades steep enough to demand constant gear changes. Winter here isn't a season, it's most of the year, with snow lingering into late spring and ice forming overnight even after a clear, sunny day. Breakdown assistance can take hours to arrive given how isolated certain stretches are, leaving stranded drivers exposed to elevation and cold with genuinely limited options. It's a route where history and modern hazards sit side by side. The same wilderness that nearly starved an expedition still tests drivers hauling freight today. And speaking of history testing modern infrastructure, one desert highway connects a dam that changed America to a city built entirely on excess. US 93, Arizona and Nevada summer asphalt temperatures exceeding 150 degrees. A bridge crossing that took 5 years and $500 million to build because the original route was simply too dangerous to keep using. US 93 connects Phoenix to Las Vegas, passing directly beside the Hoover Dam, and for decades trucks navigated a series of tight switchbacks directly across the top of the dam itself before the Mike O'Callahan, Pat Tillman Memorial Bridge finally rerouted traffic around it. Even now, the surrounding desert corridor tests engines and tires alike, with heat this extreme causing tire blowouts at a rate significantly higher than cooler climates see. Add long, monotonous stretches that induce driver fatigue, plus sudden monsoon storms that flood underpasses within minutes during summer, and you've got a highway where the danger isn't visible until conditions shift almost instantly. From scorching desert heat, let's head to a corridor where deer strikes cause more crashes than any weather event on this entire list. I-84, Oregon, Cabbage Hill, and Dead Man Pass, a 6% grade dropping nearly 2,000 feet over roughly 7 miles, earning this stretch of I-84 near Pendleton, Oregon, its unsettling nickname, Dead Man Pass, alongside the more commonly used Cabbage Hill. Connecting Pendleton to La Grande, this corridor sees ice storms form suddenly in the canyon below, catching drivers who were fine just a few miles back completely unprepared. Oregon closes this stretch for extended periods most winters, sometimes stranding over 100 trucks at a time in a line that backs up for miles along the shoulder. Locals recall entire convoys parked overnight, waiting out conditions too dangerous, even for chains to handle safely. The grade itself demands careful gear selection on the way down, since riding the brakes here has led to documented failures on the steepest sections. It's a fitting final entry, a road named after death itself, still carrying freight across it every single day, proof that no matter how brutal the terrain, the trucks keep rolling anyway.